write something, and the trick is to do it and continue doing it even if it sucks. Okay, for some reason I feel compelled to show the creative process of a short poem. I write a bunch of them, and I keep fragments of words, like something that just hit me the right way a certain day. I'll be like, oh, that's a cool sentence, and I'll save it. Like I'll write it in my phone and my notes application, or I'll write on a piece of paper. And lately I'm trying to actually put them all in a pool that I can pull from. But right now we're just focusing on one poem. It's not named yet, I just made it up. And it started off of this. So on my dry erase board, it says, if I wasn't holding all this laundry, I'd be holding an Oscar. Kind of corny, maybe. But I just like the idea that if you weren't doing these tasks just to survive, which I know back in the day they did a lot more of them than we do now, but like if you weren't doing that daily task, could you be more creative, essentially is all it means. And I switched it to a mother figure, like somebody thinking that their mother had like talent, and if she wasn't like taking care of us kids, what could she have done, right? So I came up with this, and I live recorded the whole thing, the whole process. And I started just with disregard of how corny it is and just like letting it flow out a little bit. And I didn't feel like locked into a zone. I was basically fully conscious the whole time on this one. But it ends up being very much, it was more about getting the syllable count right so that the meter was right. So I'll do this weird thing where I'm like tapping. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when I count the syllables, if one has to go extra, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm like, oh. Or if one's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and no 6, I will reform it. So face beheld in mirror, my glowing imposter. Mom was holding laundry, should have been an Oscar. I step up to the light, step right on the future. Taking of a handout, feeling like a moocher. My thoughts a funny fog, cast out as far as Norway. Cast out far as Norway. Your love was like a dog, standing in the doorway, who never chose to bark, even near intruders, whose clouds have silver lines, when mine are just pewter. When mine just are pewter. See, I screwed up the rhythm a little bit because I didn't know how to read it. So it's not always important for that meter to be dead on like that. I've actually found some where the numbering was weird, like 667, 667 or something like that. And sometimes you just want to disregard the meter. There is no meter. And but for this one, a lot of times I'll get caught up. I'll write it, and then I'll find that the meter is wonky, and I'll go back through and just take out like letter A's or like the word A, add stuff, change the words around. Usually getting the meter to fit the way you want, it's usually not too hard. But that's it. So that's the piece. And I'll see how long it took to do. Let me see how long it took in real time. Screen recordings. It would be the newest one. 15 minutes and 49 seconds, and that's live time. Like, that's no pauses or nothing. That's it. Have fun, write something. Here's a trick. Write something. I don't want the glare of my glasses for this one. Like, write something. You don't have to show us it if you don't want to. Write something, and the trick is to do it and continue doing it even if it sucks. Good morning.
It's the day after I just edited that video. A month or two after I recorded the original source footage. You could tell I'm sick. I'm I'm sicker than a vinegarless pickle. But anyway, here's how I actually feel about the product. Face beheld in mirror, my glowing imposter. I still don't know if that's E or O R. I like my glowing imposter. That's kind of cute. Like like look at that fraud in there, but look at the shiny fraud, right? Mama's holding laundry should have been an Oscar. The concept I like about this, like I think I kind of touched on it before, like what could your, especially a mother figure who's tied down to children, I know that's a noble thing to do, but sometimes you wonder, like, man, she had talent in such and such field, and you wonder, could she have followed that dream, right? But the execution is corny. I feel like mentioning an Oscar for some reason is corny. I step up to the light, step right on the future. That's a nice little like traveling passage where like I come into the spotlight. I walk right into the future because everybody does. This one I feel like exudes some semblance of confidence. So that's decent. Taking of a handout, feeling like a moocher. That's relevant for being that you're talking about mom's laundry. But I don't particularly like you can't use the word moocher. And although I feel like I've done it in a pure form here, like I feel like it wasn't just to rhyme with future. I mean, I'm sure it was. But if, to me, even though I don't like the word, I don't feel like the rhyme is particularly reachy as the next one. My thoughts, a funny fog, cast out far as Norway. I relate to this because I have really strange thoughts sometimes, and sometimes they're foggy. So I'm not mad at my thoughts, a funny fog. Now, Norway is my biggest problem with, with the whole poem. Cast out far as Norway. Because, I don't know, it's just too, it's like a proper noun or whatever. It's like, it kind of takes me out a little bit. And it makes it obviously that it was just a setup for the next rhyme. Your love was like a dog standing in the doorway. I should have kept that sitting. But like I said, I'm judging the heck out of this. I don't normally be this critical because I normally perfect it a little more. This whole poem was for an exercise to make this video. I don't hate it. I just have a lot of nitpicking, I realize once I go through it. Anyhow, the next part is, who never chose to bark, even near intruders. The execution is so-so. I love the theme. Like a dog that, like even when bad crap's happening, they're not doing their job. There's something novel about that. And this one got cut off the bottom because of technical difficulties. Whose clouds have silver lines when mine are just pewter? So whose clouds have silver lines when mine just are pewter? The syllable count's right, but it sets you up kind of strange. And this last line, if you notice, is like cropped in because I couldn't get a still video that had the whole poem. I must not have been paying enough attention on the original. But yeah, so that's the judging of the whole piece. So let's see if I could say it right. Face beheld in mirror, my glowing imposter. Mom was holding laundry, should have been an Oscar. I step up to the light, step right on the future. Taking of a handout, feeling like a moocher. My thoughts a funny fog, cast out as far as Norway. Wait. I still throw an extra as in there. It's cast out far as Norway. Your love was like a dog, standing in the doorway, who never chose to bark, even near intruders, whose clouds have silver lines, when mine are just pewter. See, that's funny, but yeah, that's it. That's like the full, like that's actually how I feel about it, instead of just the fact that I made it and how I made it.
Even if it sucks.